Welcome back to GBGuns. We are out today with the much anticipated, I guess, TPR 380 Plus. I like it so far. Haven't shot it. This is actually the first time that I've ever held it, and I'm really looking forward to it. Graham's going to tell you all the stuff that makes it cool and why we're shooting it at some point throughout this review. We have the reduced size torso out there again at about 25 yards. 10 rounds cold shots. Okay. I'm shooting low and to the right. Now I'm overthinking everything. And that was 10. It hung me up because I started feeling it here. I normally don't complain about this. That's Graham's job. But maybe my grip isn't correct on the gun, and I'll work on that as we go through the review. But yeah, I got a bit of pink knuckle on my thumb. Welcome to the club. Huh? Welcome to the club. But I absolutely love the texture. I'm just going to say that right now. I love the texture on this. So yeah, let's see what Graham thinks. Double action, single action, metal frame with a decocker, double stack 380. Those are all the things. That's what has made me want to try this, and many of you request it several times. I just couldn't get my hands on one until now. I'm going to try it first shot in double action, and as we said, these are absolutely our first time shooting the gun. Where's the front sight? There we go. Very smooth double action. It's not even moving in your hands. It's certainly punching me in the knuckle though. Yeah. I'm feeling that. I'm also missing a little bit right. These are adjustable sights. We may need to adjust it. Looks centered, but this is also a small target far away. Remarkably pleasant to shoot, as most double action double stack 380s tend to be. Something about just having that girth to distribute the force from blowback. Definitely feeling it in my knuckle a little bit. I'm gonna have to try rotating my hand around the gun a little bit more as we continue our tests. Speaking of, what we got coming up is our standard battery. We have full magazine plus one, only one mag, so that's gonna take some jumbling for a little bit. Then what's for dinner, see what it eats. We'll take it to the spinner, and you'll see the energy difference that 380 has on steel versus 9. Then we'll group it and give you our concluding thoughts. Go. All right, while our neighbors take a break from their shooting, note the 15 round magazine loaded to 15 easily. It didn't require any extra punch to get that last in. I'm going to decock, leave the safety on so that I can top this mag off again. So now we're at a full 16 rounds, and I'm gonna try to burn it down. Also with my hand rotated a little more around the gun so I'm not beating up my knuckle so much. And here we go. No issues running. That was the Max Tech 95 grain, I think it is. And rotating my hand did make the trigger reach feel a little bit different, so I wasn't able to run it as quickly, but it did not beat up my knuckle. So it's just a matter of learning to shoot this gun. Thanks to our Ammo Squared and Patreon supporters, it's the crowd favorite, What's for Dinner Time. 380 is an interesting one. We've got 85 grain through 102 grain. And as we scroll along, you can see that the bullet profile, overall shape, overall length, the case material, and projectile type are all different. What we're looking for in this test is, does it load from slide lock? Is there enough energy to cycle and repeat? And lastly, will it lock the slide open on empty? Just 3 rounds to figure that out. Anything past that is a mag test. For circle number 1, we're going to start with the Winchester 85 grain silver tip jacketed hollow point. I too have rotated my hand, but in doing so it changes the grip here. It's a very fat grip, so we'll see.
Are you going to try double action first shots?
Nope, I'm having enough issues as it is.
Okay.
I hope those are in there somewhere. I can't see them.
That's because they stacked very nicely.
Nice. Circle number 2, Norma's monolithic hollow point. These are an 85 grain extreme terminal performance.
Dun, dun, dun.
Ooh. Ow. That makes me not want to pull again. Ow.
It was a little punchy?
Yeah. And for circle number 3, Remington's UMC. This is an 88 grain jacketed hollow point.
Sold in a 100 pack.
Man, changing the angle on my, I think it's better if it's on the bone and not the fat of my thumb.
Those look pretty soft.
Yeah, they're not bad. Definitely not as torturous as the previous. Circle number 4, Hornady's Critical Defense. This is a 90 grain with that polymer tip in there. I do enjoy the slide release. I'll say that much. Gotta find something positive. Oh, those are nice. That we could do all day.
It looked pretty gentle, a nice group.
Yeah, folks, don't let the small or, yeah, the lesser amount of grain weight affect your purchasing decisions, because some of these lighter loads, they pack a punch. So you have to try different ammos to know what is going to fit your shooting suitability. And for circle number 5 from Tula Ammo, these are a steel case non-corrosive Berdan primed 91 grain. I forgot the important part. And we try these because it tests.
Steel and aluminum contract and expand at a different rate under the heat and have different friction coefficient in the chamber, which causes them to not always work in some guns. It is cheaper to produce and cheaper to buy, which is why it exists.
Ow.
Yeah, this stuff tends to be spiky. Oh. Failure to feed. This is another reason why we use the steel and aluminum. So with extra friction between the cases there, it did not want to feed. That recoil looked jarring.
It was. I even closed my eyes on the last one.
That might explain why there's only 2 on target.
Oh, bullshit, it's stacked.
And I stand corrected. That is stacked 2 shots and then 1 low with her eyes closed. Moving from Russia to Serbia, our next one for Circle 6 is from PPU. This is the Defense Line 94 grain jacketed hollow point, and it's the type that has exposed lead on it. They just kind of chop the tip off the bullet almost, and it's not how they're made, but that's how it looks. I'm going to run double action first shots. The decocker lever is stiff. A pro to that is it means it's not going to get bumped.
Those print really nice.
Yeah, no cycling issue. Number 7, Browning's BPT Performance Target. This is a 95 grain and snub nose. Most 380 ammo used to be kind of snubby. And yes, folks, we are at a public shooting range where other people have the same right to be here and shoot as we do.
We will graciously accept donations to our own future range should you be willing to contribute.
Circle 8, laser aluminum. This is a 95 grain. And we run aluminum for the same reason that we run steel. There we go. The decocker seems to be kind of loosening up. The double action pull is pretty smooth. The recoil out of these, though, is more. So you save money on the ammo, but you have less pleasant time shooting. Number 9, Federal's HST Micro 99 grain. If you're curious about the micro, that's because barrels below the standard, I don't know what the standard is for 380, but for 9mm it's 4 inches, don't produce enough velocity for a lot of ammunition to perform the way it's supposed to. So there's some ammunition calibrated specifically for shorter barrels. And this is one of those loads. Wow, there's a lot more recoil in this stuff. Ouch. Jarring. Coming in at 102 grains, it's the Remington Golden Saber, the BJHP, brass jacketed hollow point. Everybody's type of, or favorite type of HP, if you ask me. Why use brass instead of copper? I don't know. One of you might, and you're welcome to share with us in the comment section. These are much smoother and printed pretty well.
They smell like a finely tuned automobile.
Now it's time for the spinner test for sights and trigger control. 380 doesn't have much chance to knock that thing over the top. Got to really be on it. So I'm going to say 10 rounds to you.
Yep.
And we'll use the Max Tech because it's a little bit hotter than the PMC Bronze.
Sounds good.
At about 12 yards is our 6-inch Titan Great Outdoors spinner target. This requires timing shots, which is why we use it for sights and trigger control. We of course would love to knock over the top, but that requires well-timed good hits, lots of energy. You're hitting right.
It's not that this gun is not easy to learn. It is. But yeah, my hand is really sore.
This, folks, is our second blowback double stack 380 of the day.
But the sights are perfect. The white on red contrast made it great. The trigger I really like. Although I think my placement on this trigger is not correct in some regards. I'm not sure, maybe it's got something to do with the fact that it's so curved and I've come to enjoy a flat trigger. So finding that perfect place on the trigger for my finger to shoot more accurately would take more practice. And obviously through the 15-20 shots that we've had today or so, that's not enough time. But otherwise, I think I could do it with this gun. It would just take a lot of rounds.
Were you shooting that with your hand rotated to keep your knuckle away from the tail of the gun?
No, okay. I'm shooting appropriately to control and mitigate the amount of recoil that this gun has. And unfortunately, that's just going to come with some bite.
10 rounds of Max Tech. I'm going to leave my hand in the ouch position, but for better trigger control. And do this first shot double action.
You're right and low. Low.
And welcome to my worst spinner run ever. You guys witnessed it. Tia's dancing for some reason. I don't know what kind of evil person wishes spite on others.
A very competitive one.
I think the sights need adjusting on this. We saw in the beginning when we were shooting at a reduced size torso from 25 yards or so that we were missing, which we normally don't. We're fine on paper at 7 yards. At 12 yards on a 6-inch, I completely whiffed. I don't know if the sights have moved at all.
I don't think it's a sight issue, to be honest with you, because you were hitting center. You were just low. The right shots, the shots that you had that were going to the right obviously probably have something to do with trigger. But every other shot you were hitting just low of where the target is.
Interesting. I don't know why. The trigger is pretty darn nice. And the sights are easy enough to see, especially as you saw on the tabletop, with tiny dots in the rear and a bigger dot in the front. Helps draw your eye forward. I just couldn't do it. Sometimes that happens. So let's go do an accuracy test. Take two. I'm going to try holding a little bit higher. Tia was able to see the splashes that I could not see, and said I was hitting low.
Better?
Much better. So it's a matter of the sights. Found out I was hitting low, aimed a little higher, was able to hit more. That trigger that I already complimented helped well with timing sights, or timing hits. The only struggle I had really was with holding nose high so much on the target. It was more difficult for me to time my shots because I couldn't see the pendulum swing. I was looking at the arm, which of course is much less swing. So yeah, we'll adjust these sights at some point.
So for accuracy, we've got 5 shots of the Max Tech. We're at about 77. I'm a little numeralexic, yards back, and I'll be shooting at the left circle square.
We're using the Max Tech because we don't have matchy 380.
Ah, dang it. I didn't see those other two going over there. That's not funny.
Also using the Max Tech 95 grain for my 5 shots from 7 yards. I'm going to go first round double action.
All right, looks like we need to adjust those sights. So my overall impressions of the TPR 380 Plus are positive. And while I didn't mess around with the double action safety decocker and all of that, I would use it if I were to carry the gun, and maybe I should take a couple shots with the double action just to make sure. The only drawback was the bone bite here in the thumb. However, just shooting those 5 shots for accuracy, it wasn't bothering me as bad. So apparently I've learned how to move my hand to avoid that and maintain a good grip on this. I'm really impressed with it. Like I said in the beginning, I love the texture of the grips. It's kind of rubbery, yet very firm. How that would wear, I don't know. I don't think I would care at that, at the point of purchase. It's a positive. The trigger is great, I think. It's a little bit different than what I've grown accustomed to shooting, but the texture that's on there allows your finger to keep from slipping up, down, or side to side. It's an overall really, really great gun. I would recommend this gun to anyone that was looking into it.
Seems like most of our shots out of the What's for Dinner and the accuracy favored a little bit right, so may drift that side a little bit. But the TPR 380 Plus is everything that I was hoping it would be, and I think many of you as well. Metal frame, double stack 380, DASA with a decocker and safety, all the features that you'd want out of a handgun if striker fired plastic guns hadn't become such a thing. It's still small enough to make for a good carry gun. The aluminum part of the frame keeps it light enough that it's not a particularly heavy gun for carry. The 15 round magazine is easily usable to all 15 rounds. It doesn't take a ton of effort to get that last round in there, and it works with a +1 in it. So overall, it's I think everything you'd want it to be. The takedown, as you saw on the tabletop, has been enhanced. It's a little bit easier to do. If I were going to spend a lot of range time with this, I would look into first adjusting those sights and then maybe looking into some other sights. The rear blade kind of trips me up a little bit, and as Bob, the big orange ball, appeared here on the range today, I did find it a little more difficult to aim than when we had the low light. But yeah, really nice gun. This rubber wraparound grip thing, as Tia mentioned, it's just very comfortable. I know some of you in the past use the rubber sleeves over the hard plastic. That probably absorbs a little bit of the recoil on the back, which is some of where we're getting that knuckle bite. This is aluminum transferring the recoil impulse into your hand. So a little bit jarring there, but as we proved with our What's for Dinner test, if you're smart with your ammo choice, that doesn't have to beat you up. Just something to learn and adapt to. So good job, Bersa, and thanks for watching.
That does roll through really nice.
Yeah, not much stacking. It doesn't get heavier as it comes back.
No, it's definitely stiff, but not where it's stiff and you come to a wall and then you've got to pull again. It just rolls right through. I like it. I would use it.